cases to serial killers, missing persons, and more.
100% he did this.
I'd go off into fantasy world.
How much more lucky can you get that you're not on death row?
You want to know what we know.
My name is Jay. This is Guilty of Crime.
What is up, everybody? Hello. All right, as you roll in, I know everybody's seen this probably 7 different ways by now. It hit last night, or yesterday. I saw it coming out. Paula from Plunder and Grizzly True Crime and Mr. Strategic and who else? So today we're talking about Stephan Sterns, the 22 PDFs, which are condensed down because a lot of them are different perspectives from the case. I'm a little early today. I said 4, but I did 3 p.m. because, well, I was ready. So I've been, I'm still RVing. So I'm going back and forth to stream. I wanted to make sure it's all good. Tomorrow we have Lauren Dumolo, and then Friday we're doing the sentencing for Christopher Greger. And surprise, surprise, I have the whole family that wants to stream with me. So I have Brianna Michelow, Rebecca Michelow, and her sister Nikki, which I believe is also a Michelow. So hello to everybody. Please hit that like button as you come in. I worked really hard today. I want to say thank you to Gothic Bree, or Bree, our moderator, who also helped me. But I'm making sure I'm doing a little bit deeper, and my perspective is different than those of the other channels that do a fantastic job. But this case is near and dear to me, and same information, different perspective, wider view, I must say. And I'm gonna get down with the get down. All right, we're going to get down with it. We're talking about Stephan Sterns. We're talking about the parents. I'm going to break it down for all of you and each one what they knew. I have a timeline for you of what I think might be important because of all the things going on. We're definitely going to talk about everything and then some. And then, of course, I have the actual documents, which I'll pull up at some point and show you as I go through. I'll read through it. But let me say hello to everybody as you come in. What's going on? Make sure, if I haven't seen you before, I have Bailey here. Hello. Hope you're doing well. I'm absolutely doing well. Again, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like. Stephan Sterns, 22 PDFs. What do the parents know? And then, of course, we're going to talk about the items that they found. We're going to get into all of it. So if you've seen it on another channel, it's not the same way here. But I do want to remind you to hit that like button. I worked really hard on this today. And if you're not a member, become a member. All of that stuff that I got to get into the intro. It all helps me to get into the algorithm and get better information. So it's going to be a fantastic week. Karina says hashtag arrest Jen Soto. I want to say hi to Melly. I want to say hi to everybody, of course, but I want to get to the information that's just in my mind and ready to explode. Clark, one of my faves. All of you are my favorite people. Adam, I want to thank you and whoever bought me this birthday hat, which I was going to wear today, but I didn't want to look like a crazy deception detective. So this is my birthday hat. Thank you. I love it. And I'll wear it at some point. But when I get back out to the pool or the spa or whatever I'm going to do, because I'm headed back to the RV later on. Letty B says hello. Rosie says justice for Maddie. Low Red O, much appreciated. I can say even you have seen things elsewhere. All the creators have very different ways to express and discuss. And I have a very different way that I'm going to discuss the same information today that you're only going to get on guilty of crime from myself and, well, the mods that always help out. So thank you, mods. Candy says, I've been waiting on my edge of the seat for you to cover this document release. Well, great. I've been working for hours on this morning, all morning. So support my channel. If you don't have the money to super chat, stickers, Venmo, Snap, whatever, all that is appreciated. But if you don't have that, let's get justice for Maddie just by hitting that like button, and don't forget to share. All right. So the way the parents' attitude towards change is absolutely insane. It hasn't changed, though, and this is why I'm glad that I'm doing this today. His parents' attitude hasn't changed. You got to remember, they're coming out with this. This was before. These documents were before. It's not changed. It's his parents' attitude in the emails that have been released before. They've been released before this happened, which was they're releasing them strategically. So while I talk about that, I have a lot to talk about. Let's not forget Maddie. I'm going to do an overview. I'm going to put a video up here of Maddie scrolling through. Beautiful Maddie. We're going to remember Madeline Soto while we're here. We need justice for Maddie. Eyes of Brown, you're right. I'm going to present this in a way that you just don't get anywhere else, because I know the case and I have a passion for it. And I'm going to say this. The police are strategically releasing the documentation in a way that we don't understand just yet. But just think about this. Karina, when you say from the beginning the mom was disgusted and now supporting his coffee and candy addiction and talking to him like he's a little boy, absolutely disgusting. She calls him a monster. She knows that Maddie has been essayed for years. And I'm going to give you all my theories on this today. So what's going on, Carrie? Thank you. I got your email. All right. So I am very pleased to be here today with you all. And thank you for being here, even though everybody else has gotten everything out there. This is not the same. I want to say that. KK, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. All of this helps to keep my channel going, to keep me being able to dedicate my time to this. So I appreciate that. What's up, Grace? I'm going to say Grace M because I don't want to hack your name. So first thing we're going to do, what's up, Fire Opal? All right. I am going to share this while I'm talking. So you're not just having to look at my face, because I have a lot to say today. And it's very emotional. It's emotional. It's infuriating. I don't even know. It's sad. When you see this beautiful little angel, it makes you smile, and there's so many emotions that go on. Hey, Jude, always love hearing what you have to say, Jay. Thank you. Thank you, Melly, for gifting the membership, one membership of Guilty of Crime. I hope whoever gets that wants it and really, truly understands what our goal is at Guilty of Crime. Penny Green, thank you so much for the super sticker, $10. All is appreciated, all helps, and all, I promise, goes to a worthy cause to help support the channel. Whatever that is, that's what I do with it. It supports me being here and being able to do what I do. So thank you. I'm glad May Freeman won the membership. I love you too, Kimberly McDonald. Thank you. And all of you, Rosie, Adam, get back to the pool, yo. Thanks for coming in. I'm going back to the pool, and then I'm coming back home to do Lauren tomorrow. And then again, Friday. It's all about justice for Corey Michelow and the Michelow family. I'm here. They have me for the whole day. 145 wonderful people. There are actually 285 people in chat. If you could hit that like button now, there's 291. I know it's going to go up. This is not a perspective or a content that you're going to get anywhere else, I promise. I'll give you that right now. Maurice, Australia, gifted 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Thank you so much. As I continue to go. All right, I'm going to play this while I'm talking to you about the information that I have. There's a lot. I pretty much wrote an essay, and then and then I marked it as what's important, and then we'll go through the documentation so you can see that I have it. Okay, let's go. Let's hit this, and I'll talk. Make sure it's going. Let's remember Maddie. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Playback speed. We're going to play it slow so I have multiple clips, but I want you all to remember Maddie and why we're here. Okay? All right, so first I want to say, all right, I know you all have been here, but I'm going to just give you a complete 1,000-foot overview of what's going on. Stephan Sterns, you may or may not know, he's 38 years old, looks a lot older. He is the boyfriend of Jen Soto, or Madeline Soto's mom. I'd say more of an ex-boyfriend, or on again, off again, maybe just like a part-time lover. I don't see him, nor would I give him the credit for being a stepdad or anything else. So please get that out of your mind. Anywhere else you heard, we're just going to call him the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, whatever. Now, Stephan Sterns is facing 60 counts related to SA, battery of a child, and first-degree murder in connection with 13-year-old Madeline Soto's death. The offense date that's listed on there on the paperwork is February 25th, 2024. All right. So as you look through as you see beautiful Maddie, and hello to everybody that's coming in. I'm going to do a lot of reading and thought giving today. So, might not be able to say as much as I can, but if you wait till the end of the show, we can talk a little more. All right. So look at how gorgeous this angel is that we're talking about today. So, I mean, she's just a beautiful angel. She's now our angel, and we have to see justice through. Melly, you're right. He ain't no father figure. All right. Kimberly McDonald, thank you for the £5. Thank you for all you do, Jan Mods. And what's up, CBC? Keep in mind, at 20,000 subscribers, I'm going to set up a buy me a coffee for the mods, and they can split that however they want. Okay. But we need to hit 20,000. We're at 15, a little bit over 15.5. All right. Let's go. We got a lot to cover today, and it's just hits me in the heart. All right. So what I'm talking about is the according to the documents released by Orange-Osceola State Attorney's Office, Stephan Sterns is also facing more than 60 other crimes related to this case. Now, we know there may be more coming after we know they found a thumb drive with lots of documents, but we haven't got into that yet. Detectives discovered that Stephan Sterns never dropped Maddie off at school. Instead, he drove around for hours with her body in the car. Surveillance video captured him disposing of evidence, including Maddie's backpack and laptop, as well as the tire from the car. Maddie's body was found in a wooded area near Hickory Tree Road in St. Cloud, Florida, hence where the memorial, partially is still, which we want to get that. That's for another topic. We want to get that placed elsewhere or keep it going, and we want to help with that. Now, the cause and manner, or COD, are still pending because they may never release the autopsy. We speculate that we know, but we don't. Of course, this is a tragic and heartbreaking case, and I want to say prayers right now for Maddie's family, the Wallace family, the Soto family, and all the family, all the friends, everybody that's missing Madeline Soto. Please, let's just take a moment and say a prayer for this beautiful little angel. That's why we're here today. So I didn't get directly into the documents because I just wanted to remember Maddie, remember why we're here, and remember the end game of why we're here. Not the mama says, I think, and this is what I'm about to get into. I think the documents are strategically released in order to rattle the Soto family, especially Jen. If this was Italy, they would have wiretapped all the Sotos, right? Now, this is not my theory. This is not the mama's, but I'm going to tell you mine right now as we look through this, and then I'm going to put Stephan Sterns. I'm going to play body cam while I'm talking, and then I'll get to the documents. You can see I have them. We strategically picked which ones that were the most important because we didn't need everybody's everybody's perspective right now. It's just too much. We need to just cut to the chase. All right. So thank you everybody for all the happy birthdays and all the blessings and all the memberships and everything that you're doing. It's so very appreciated. And for Maddie, that's why we're here. Okay. So my thoughts as I lead into this are, I believe the police are releasing information in a strategic manner that's leading up to something bigger and possibly more arrests, including that of Jen Soto. You heard me right, including Jen Soto. All right. The police do know, I'm going to say that again. The police do know who's driving the white 2022 Nissan. That is Jen Soto's. And they have yet to confirm or deny that it was either Stephan Sterns alone in the car, or Jen Soto alone in the car, or Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto. And I ask you why? Why would they release the information about a second car being involved in returning to the dump site of Maddie if they were just gonna wait until trial to discuss it? So today there's a lot of questions that there are a lot more questions than I have answers, but you can decide what you think the answers are as we go. All right. If Stephan Sterns was alone and he was leaving from the back of the gate at the Venetian condo, why not just announce it? Why would the police not just say, hey, it was Stephan Sterns that was driving the car and we saw him on camera? Why even do that to us? Why release that? All right, so you tell me. When I'm watching other channels, I keep seeing them assume that it was Stephan Sterns. I've heard it many, many times that it was Stephan Sterns, and they haven't released it because they're just waiting for trial and they don't want to let out all their cards. No, they're doing this strategically. They strategically released the parents' emails. They gave us enough time to dig into the parents just to come back and release all this other information on the parents that they already had of the we're going to see what the items they collected from the storage unit, etc. I noticed different channels covered it differently. Some people were more thorough, some people weren't. Thank you. I am 2Bear headed to 16K. You go. And I think we're headed to 20K and then 50K, if I do say so myself. Jack Stormo, I don't know if that's a wave, but yes, let's start a wave of like, share, subscribes, super stickers, super chats, whatever you guys want to do. Let's smash that potato and keep going. So as we go, keep in mind that I believe, and this is just all my opinion, the police absolutely know who is driving that car, and there's a reason why they're not saying it. And it's not just because they want to wait for trial. Trust me, trial's going to be a couple of years, folks. So hang in there. Now maybe one trial will come first. Maybe they'll do the SA one, but we've got a while. So now I ask you, if it was Stephan Sterns alone leaving from the back, in my opinion, either Stephan Sterns and Jen Soto in the car, the police already know, but they're building this is my opinion, they're building a solid case, or it was Jen Soto alone and they don't want to announce it until they arrest her. I mean, people would be infuriated if they announced that and she still wasn't arrested. So the police released information about the parents' emails and now the parents' property and knowledge with strong blame towards Stephan Sterns, as well as Jennifer Soto. The mom herself, you hear calling him a monster. Dad saying Stephan Sterns looked like he had a consciousness of guilt when speaking about Maddie missing, and more as we go through the documentation. Okay? So I just want to check in with you all. Yes, justice for Maddie. That's why we're here. That is absolutely why we're here. There's no other reason. I definitely am not here to milk the clock and all the other stuff. This is my case. This is my angel, and we're going to see it through. Vicky Guerrera, Argera, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you for your hard work. Saying a prayer for Maddie. Please do. Please, everybody say your own prayer of whatever kind. Mom's Shack Hair, Mom Shack Hair, new member. Thank you so much for becoming a new member. You won't be disappointed, I promise. CBC, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. All is appreciated, and I hope you enjoy what we're watching right now as we remember Maddie. In a little bit, we're going to have Stephan Sterns. I'm going to run some body cam while we talk about that, but right now we're remembering Maddie as I tell you what my thoughts are in reading the documents and giving you something to think about. That's something solid to think about. Now, if they give the documents to defense, is it then public? I'm not really sure how to answer that. No. I guess the way I'm thinking that you're asking is a no. Absolutely not. Everything can't go public. And there's so much for them to go through that no, it's not going to go to the public. I don't know what their strategy is and what they release and how, but I do see a pattern here of their strategy. And their strategy is to put certain things out at certain times as they go, as they start to arrest, as they do things. They're moving strategically in how they release it. That's what I'm going to say. And thank you, I Am Too Bear. Maddie loved animals. Maddie loved life. And I wish Maddie was still here. She's not suffering any longer. And she's our angel. And we are all here to see her through. And she's not just a piece of paper. She's not just a document. She's not just a PDF that we're coming on to exploit or to. And I'm not saying any other channels are doing. I'm just not. I was going to do Watts Wednesday today. And I thought that it was important for you to hear it from me, my interpretation of this document, and to get what you see on other channels, but with my passion and the knowledge I have. MM Clark says 144,000 and beat at his own game. I love you, Jay. Yes. 144. You're funny. Chad Daybell. Thank you for the super chat. And if I miss any of them, I'll come back to them. But as we look at Maddie, I'm giving my theories before we get into the documentation. I'm giving you my thoughts as I read the documents. Now, Rebecca, you asked me to please read the documents, but I'm giving you information right now. They're all in the documents. So let me tell you real quick. If the parents, I'm literally giving you information from the documents. So if the parents, Chris and Debra, knew about Maddie being essayed by someone, why didn't they tip it in to the police department? Did they think that Stephan Sterns, that he all along was in denial? How long did they have Maddie? I mean, how long they knew she was being essayed, but did they think it was by somebody else? Why were they pushing that narrative? And you're going to see as we go, but I'm telling you information from the documentation. So I'm giving you this information before we start reading and saying the parents knew she was essayed by the documentation the whole time. Think it was someone else? All right, that's you guys, too funny, y'all. And hello to everybody. I'm giving you information as we go. All right, I'm literally. All right, so this is information. Now, the mom, Debra Sterns, was outside yelling Maddie's name. Now, this is all in the documentation. I don't know if you want to see the documentation, if that will make you feel better, but I'm telling you, this is in the documentation. I'm giving you a breakdown of it. All right. So now listen here. They knew that she was essayed all along. The mom, Debra Sterns, was outside yelling Maddie's name. This is in the documentation, as if she was looking for her around the house. Maybe Stephan Sterns brought her home to the house. That's why she was missing, looking for her. Is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences, but the police executed a search warrant that day. And the day they showed up, the minute they showed up, the second they showed up, Debra Sterns was outside calling for Maddie when the police arrived. She also called Stephan Sterns a monster and said that she was disgusted by the doll torso, or SEX torso, that they found. So then she goes off about Stephan Sterns stealing cash from Chris all the years. So I'm telling you what Debra and Chris know while I play the body cam. I am in the documentation technically. I don't know if you guys want me to just pull up the documentation and start reading the documentation. I mean, I'm telling you more than what's in there. If you want me to just pull it up and you want to see the documentation like everyone else is doing, then put a 1. But I'm telling you it right now. So Lauren, Wisconsin, they knew. Thank you for covering this. Yes. What did they know? And I'm telling you all the things I knew. I sat there and wrote it all down as I went through the documentation. So if you guys want me to just pull up the papers and just do what everyone else did, I can. Thank you. Oh, hello, everybody. I'm telling you, pay attention, please. All right. So I now want to pull up a visual right now of the parents as well. But I'm telling you, Debra Sterns knew that Stephan Sterns was doing something with Maddie. She knew that she might be at the house. She was looking for her. She talked about him stealing cash. Debra found the doll. And when she found the doll, it's interesting because she thought the doll, for a moment, she couldn't breathe properly because she thought the doll was, yeah, Jay, I love the way you give us a breakdown. Thank you. I'm absolutely giving you the breakdown, and I'm telling you real information that happened. So many people find bodies. Now, if you're a true crime person, you know they find bodies and they call the police and they say, "Man, I thought it was a mannequin." So this is interesting that she found the torso, which was like a sex doll, right? And some people say that's weird that she would think that it was real. But no, when you see something like that and you know there's a child missing and you know your son's into a bunch of kink, she thought that it was Maddie's body. So just for a quick second, she like took a deep breath and was like, oh, okay, it's just a doll. So the doll made me think about when people find real bodies and they refer to it as a mannequin. Debra did the opposite. And at first glance, she thought the mannequin was a body. This happens all the time in true crime. So Stephan Sterns, by his own mother, is a monster. In my opinion, a sick man. His parents enabled him his whole life to progressively get worse. And in my opinion, they're still doing so, as we heard in the emails. Now, Debra made the statement to the police before the emails were given that Maddie had been essayed for years before her life was taken, which absolutely infuriates me. Now, we have 501 people. Thank you so much. And let's see what you say. I think that was you. I said, I understand your show respect and thank you for that, but you're rambling. I'm actually not rambling on, Rebecca. I'm telling you the information. All right. Let me, I don't know what more information I can tell you or what I'm saying, not saying, but I'm telling you, I just told you what Chris said or what Debra said. And now I'm telling you what Chris said. I'm giving you all the information. That's so funny. Oh, man. Right. Okay. So I just told you what Debra knew. And now I'm telling you what Chris knew. And I'm showing you the body cam as we do it. So Chris Sterns said that Stephan Sterns seemed to be extremely exhausted and has a heavy weight, metaphorically speaking, pressing on him. He also gave his dad what seemed to be fabricated explanation about the factory reset on his phone. Now, they checked into the hotel around 9 p.m. Somewhere in the middle of the night, Stephan Sterns went to Northport to visit the storage locker folks. Now, he was only there for about 10 minutes, so I think he was putting something in there. He didn't think that they were going to get a search warrant right away. He didn't expect any of that, right? So I think he put something in there. He was there for 10 minutes. Chris told police that Stephan Sterns left his gaming computer at his residence in the garage, and Chris didn't want it there. At that point, they were both putting blame on Stephan Sterns' statement. So both parents are blaming Stephan Sterns. Now, this is, it is good. This is, people are funny. I'm literally giving you the whole information. Yes, the CSAM stash. And what's up, everybody? Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm breaking it down as hard as I can, which is funny. All right. I'm not even sure what is going on, but I hope you guys like the way I present. This is how I present, and I've given you the full breakdown of what's in the documentation. Now, I'm going to go through this next. The locker, what they found, the locker was in Northport. Cadaver dogs came from Sarasota. Police did an excellent job, thorough. They cut off the lock and swabbed it. So we're going to get a lot more information back. That was my outline in this. Now, I guess if you want to see the documentation, I'll pull that up next. However, I have a timeline for you that I want you to see, which is it will help you to understand exactly what the documentation, and all, by the way, everything's going to be time stamped. So if you just want to see the documents, actually, a lot of other people did that already. So you can just go watch their documents if you don't like what I'm telling you. However, it will be time stamped. So let's go to this. I'm going to stop showing this one. And yeah, this works fantastic playing it this way. I'll just pause it for now. I want to show you the timeline and what I think. Now, thank you, Judy Doll, for gifting the 5 memberships. I hope you guys all read faster, Jay. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the 5 memberships. Now I'm going to show you the timeline. All right. It'll help you understand. And I made this for you all. I made it for you so it gives you an understanding of what's going on and et cetera, et cetera. So we'll stop sharing this one. And I'm going to pay attention to those. Strategic did the documents. He did some of them. Everybody has a different take. Grizzly did some. Plunder did them. But anyway, I wasn't rambling. I was actually giving you information that I took the time to write down and give you an overview of the highlights. So that being said, I put this together for you all. All right. Let's see. Oh, I love you all. It's so good to see all of you. It's good to see you. Hope you're a marvelous time. All right. So out of my chat this morning. It was interesting to see what this. All right. Thank you all for being here. I put this timeline together. I am going to. I found this and I want to show you before we get into anything. I'm going to take this off so you can see what I'm talking about. I want you to understand in all of this what happened. All right. I want you to understand and I want you to think about what I'm saying here. So part of the, get out of my way there. Hide that. Okay. A lot of people are confused about the involvement of Chris and Debra. So now that you've seen the documents, many of you, or if you haven't, I'm still going to go over them. There's 22 PDFs that will but I'm also giving you the theories and behind the scenes stuff that we've been working on and talked about, etc. So I hope this helps you. What do y'all think? The strategic analysis about covering up worse than CSAM? Right. It could be. You're right. Honey, thank you. All right. So a lot of people are asking now, I want you to know that this is the closest the information they're going to have with Chris and Debra and knowing until they talk. And I have a feeling they're going to talk as much as they can with what we've seen. So somebody asked, and a lot of you might have on your mind, what does Chris know? Okay, first I want to tell you the timeline that Chris was there because many people are confused. Remember, Chris arrived on February 28th at 2 a.m. to the hotel where Jen and Stephan were staying. He also paid for those rooms. Baby boy called him to bail him out. He needed money. All the while, Stephan Sterns was stealing money from his folks the whole time, and he had a lot of things at their house that could incriminate them. All right, so keep in mind, Stephan checked in to the hotel room 203, and Stephan and Jen had 239. Now I'm giving you this timeline because Stephan left the room at 4:42 a.m. that night. And you're gonna see why that's relevant later Now, you kind of already know he went to the storage locker. Now, Chris Sterns left out of the room on the 28th at 7:28 a.m. Then Chris returns at 10:50 a.m. Stephan returns at 10:55. Sterns returned at 10:55. Sterns is given a ride to Central Operations at 3:15 p.m. and he's been in custody since. So this gives you an idea of the involvement and why Stephan Sterns' dad was there, what times he was there, and what was going on as all this was going on. So Chris Sterns checks out of the hotel on the 29th at 8:19 a.m. No reason to stay anymore. Stephan Sterns got arrested. Chris Sterns was then interviewed several times by law enforcement, and Chris Sterns' timeline is part of the discovery, right? So what I'm going to tell you as an overview, and then I'll pull up the PDFs. All right, let me check in with you all and see if we still have 567 people here. Amazing. That means you guys all are hearing what I'm putting out there. Thank you for gifting the membership. I appreciate it so much. Cleveland, the more you chat and watch when they gift memory, yeah, right. I wish Stern's parents would do an interview. I'm very curious to know how they'd react to me in questions. Me too. And I feel like the closer we get and the more information they give, that we're going to get that. Stella, I thought you remember, but thank you. Brenda, new member. Naomi, I don't know this, only the torso part. Thanks. And you're going to learn a lot more, Naomi. This is just 1,000-foot overview instead of me just going, okay, bye. All right. And then Amy gifted the members. So thank you so much. There's so much to this, and this is my baby, so to speak. This case was handed over to me, and I just have to let you all know. So let me just read the last part. I gave you the visuals of the parents. You can see what those two parents spawned. The photo of Stephan Sterns and nasty gives me the creeps. Right. Okay. Let me just read the last part of it, and then I'll pull it down. Okay. So I kind of agree with this. It's not 100%, but I'm just giving you an idea of what I think that happened in those 3 hours. Now, I saw this on a Reddit post, and I thought I'd share with you because a lot of people want to know what involvement the parents have. So I broke it down for you in the beginning of what the involvement was, what Deb knows, and what Chris knows. Okay, and then what they spawned. So what can be assumed is in the 3-hour period that Stephan was alone with his dad, he purchased him a new iPhone. We know that. That iPhone was taken into evidence as later that afternoon. And while he was doing that, Stephan Sterns was feeding him a story about why Maddie was missing. At this time, there was just a missing child. No one knew about the CSAM yet, but the detectives that took custody of his phone, they knew. Okay, Stephan would not know about the CSAM being found until later that afternoon on the 28th. So his dad, more neglect. He was telling his dad more neglect shit about Jen, basically feeding him, oh, Jen's neglecting Maddie, and I think her partners have been essaying her. I think he's been saying that narrative for years and having men in and out of the home because of Stern's mom's comment, not only in the email, but in the documents, okay? So they knew all along, and I think that he told them that he was going over there to go save Maddie. So he needed to sleep with her because she couldn't sleep and she was being abused by Jen's partners, right? 589 people in chat. You must like what I'm doing. Hit that like button if you like the information I give you. All right. I'm going to pull this down. I made this for you to get a good visual. And Elena says they've been transparent on his charge and what occurred and when and where he was driving with Madeline's body. Now, see, why would why would they not be transparent today? Now, this is not new information. Was there a new document out today or something? I'm confused. Anyway, Adam says, I love what you're doing, Jay. Just wish you'd read. Oh my goodness. Oh man. All right, Nina, beautiful Nina, sending you love and support. Thank you for all your hard work. Hashtag justice for Maddie. Thank you. All right. Now, I guess you guys want to see the documentation. Is that correct? I guess I could just show it to you. I think there's actually, I love seeing the documents. I was going to read them and show body cam, but I guess it might be a little distracting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this one down. Hold on. I'm so proud of you, Jay. You're the real deal. Thank you so much, Dion Pill. You're amazing. And now I pull up the PDFs. Now we sifted through those bad boys, and they're quite a bit. And what we're going to do with those is I'm going to stop sharing this first of all. And then we'll pull out the best ones, of course. We're going to start with those. And I'm trying to, now I'm rambling because I'm trying to pull them up. And I'm pulling this down. All right. That was a ramble. I want to hear what you're saying, and I'll put it up there while I'm pulling the documents up. All right, get out of here. All right. So I have all 22 pages with the receipts and all that. I love all that. I love it. And I love that I have it to present it to you. So now, here is the PDF. I have the 11 pages. I combined all of them. There's 22 documents, but I have this that we pulled out the best of the best so you can see. And now you can start seeing the case property list. We also have one in handwriting. So let me check on y'all and see if you can see what I'm showing. All right. Ramble sustained. I wish I could read your comments while I was doing this, but I can't. All right. Look at the document. There they are. Yes. Very interesting. Ramble sustained indeed. All right. Let's get back to the document, folks. So we talked about all of the things that I couldn't tell you in this. I can't say all these things while I'm reading the evidence, okay? So, Bree, make sure you timestamp the documents, please. North Point Police. Now, keep in mind, Northport Police Department is not Kissimmee. The reason that they got Northport caught on to that is because when they found out that Stephan Sterns was arrested, they called them and they said, hey, he has another address. You need to go check, get any evidence you can before anything's destroyed or lost, etc. All right, so property, first thing they have is an interview of Christopher Sterns on 4/11/2024, submitted into evidence. Wouldn't you love to hear that, folks? So they uploaded to evidence.com. I wonder if we're ever going to be able to get that. I'm sure we will at some point. So that is the first thing on the property list. The police did a great job. I want to show you the other documents after that where they hand wrote it all out and then they made it nice. So the miscellaneous paper and receipts, keychain photo of a young female, which we believe is Maddie. Keychain, we got that. One bracelet in a box, teal and yellow with Stephan on the beads. Again, it looks like a young girl doing the research. Looks like a young girl made that bracelet for him. All right, 2 Florida driver's license from Stephan Sterns. 1 SanDisk Cruiser Glide. I know you guys know what that is. It's an 8 gigabyte. What is it? A thumb drive that they call it, a data stick. They call it the next one. So he's got 8 gigabytes, and I think he was taking those. I think he had a disk drive on him, and he's dropping it into his storage. Next one is another data. They call it Data Stick Pro Thumb, 64 gigabytes. So he's got these, and then remember what they got off the phone. So he tried to do a hard reset, and to no avail. He still had all these. All right. Now, 1 WSAT. So he's got another one, a 64 megabyte cache, WD. I'm sure it's another hard drive because it says 64 megabytes. So now he's got 3 of them so far, all different. Now, this is the tower they refer to later, Cyber PC Tower. This is the gamer computer that his dad talks about. 28 digital images of Stephan's room. So they took pictures of his room. They took a swab of the metal pull handle of the storage unit, probably to see who went in there last. One swab of, what does that say? Rope cord and handle of storage unit. Oh, rope cord, whatever that means. Rope cord. I think they just forgot their thing here. All right, one swab of rope / cord, handle of the unit, swab of the lock of the storage unit, and then they cut the lock to get in, cut unit lock, and they got a DVD-R containing a search warrant photos. So these are all the things that they put into the property list. All right, so we get on to the next page, and we're going to start getting into the reading of what they said. However, I did give you a big breakdown of what they talked about. Thank you all for being here. Wolfpack has, I thought you said you had a question. All right. Cleveland is continue to keep your passion and teach. You were made for this, Jay. Prayers and love, Erica. Thank you so much. And put this down so people know what we're talking about today. Stephan Sterns, 22 PDFs. What do the parents know? Also, what is in the, what do they have now as evidence? What's going on? What did they say? Wait, so Stephan Sterns, daddy paid for the rooms and the new phone. Dude, Boyle, TSA, he absolutely did. And he was still stealing their money. Yvette Connolly, even though this is not about Jen today, hashtag arrest Jen Soto. There's no doubt Jen knew. Funny she went to the hotel instead of her mom's house when Maddie went missing. Right. And daddy paid for it. Daddy knows more than I think that we know, but he does. They are pointing their finger at Stephan Sterns, folks. I know they are. They're pointing their finger, and you're going to hear me read it, which I did. I am too embarrassed because I love your Cliff Note version. Stay you. We love your ways. Thank you. I'm glad you love the Cliff Note version. I had to. It's my passion. And this case is my baby. I'm going to see it through. Maddie's our angel. All right. Let's keep going. So many documents. All right. So again, they did a fantastic job. Northport, Kissimmee, all of them. Assist other agency. There's their incident report. There's a lot of pages like this that are just reports that we cleared out. Again, Bree, thank you. So body worn camera used. I wonder if they're going to release this body cam footage soon. All right, folks, now I'm in reading mode, okay? Narrative. On February 28th, 2024, at approximately 1921 hours, I responded to the area, and I'm just going to Executive Avenue, which is the life storage, in response to assist the other agency call. The complainant, Corporal Evrovia, the Orange County Sheriff's Office, contacted Northport Police Department in reference to a case that they were currently investigating. Sergeant Fisher spoke to Corporal Evan Avia, and then the corporal relayed that there was reason to believe a suspect, Stephan Sterns, who they currently had in custody, was at this location sometime earlier today. There was reason to believe that the suspect had possibly left the body of a deceased victim at the location base off of investigative information that they currently had. Orange County deputies advised that the suspect was currently under arrest for SA and possession of child, and it stops there, but you know that what it is, PORN. So we've got the reporting officer here. This is how it all went down. The date was 2/29/24. So it's crazy. They've got the badge number and everything. It's crazy how all of this jumps around. And that's why I wanted to give you an overview and the narrative and a timeline of that freaking day, because they're releasing it in a strategic way. I'm sure. If we asked Mr. Strategic, he'd probably say that too. Now, I don't want to really show this necessarily, but it goes on to talk about the PORN, the possession of child, and then PORN involving the victim. It was relayed that the victim was last seen in an abnormal state, not moving for several hours in the front seat of an apartment complex in their jurisdiction. They believed victim in this case was reporting as a missing child. And then it says A, and then I don't know what that says, obviously. It's redacted on purpose. So, once on the scene, Commander Brownie Sergeant Fisher checked the area, searching to see if we could locate anything suspicious in nature. Sergeant Fisher managed to get a hold of a key holder for the location who was able to identify the locker storage. Now, remember, all the locker storage stuff, we if you go back to 3 videos, all of us were very confused about a storage unit. We kept seeing storage unit, and we were like, well, what'd they get? What'd they get? What'd they get? What was there? What happened? Whose locker is it? What's going on, right? All right. So finally, we made it to the storage unit. They went back and they went forth. So locker was B124 storage unit. They allowed Sergeant Fisher and I to, and then I'm assuming they've got like names and addresses for the business. I appeared at this time. It appeared at this time, and then it redacts upon initial inspection after, and then redact the back at any previous, and they take out the name other than the time point of when, again, redaction. All right. Sarasota Research and Rescue Team eventually was requested to respond to the location to check the area with their cadaver dogs, along with Sergeant Johnson checking the rooftops of the building with the department drones. They had a drone out. They had cadaver dogs. Now, keep in mind, they thought that they were going to find Maddie's body maybe at the parents' house, maybe in the locker unit, maybe one of the cars. Stephan Sterns' mom was also suspicious because she was yelling Maddie's name. They pulled up and she was saying, Maddie, Madeline, whatever she was saying. Very odd timing for her not knowing that they were coming to just be yelling Madeline's name. Again, I don't believe in coincidences. I then remained on the scene and was informed that detectives in North Point Department would be responding out to the location to conduct further investigation for the incident. Eventually, the Northport Police Department detectives, along with the detectives from Kissimmee Police, responded to the scene. I completed a crime scene log for the incident. This included my involvement in the incident. Right, so there are many officers with many different points of view in the 22 pages. There's no reason to read all that or to keep going over it. So this is just, this is the incident report, and it gives you the address. That's obviously where the locker was. Stephan Michael Sterns, they give the apartment. So his address was Jennifer Soto's, but he also used his parents. So he had 2 addresses, and that's what made them go out there, right? So a lot of just cross your T's, dot your I's. Now, let's get into the narrative. I'm assuming this one is going to be, let's see. All right, so now they're talking about the storage unit, and we're going to start getting into the cars, the mom, etc., etc. There's a lot. I hope you're in it with me. 613 people here. Thank you so much for being here. Elena says, Annie, I don't know, maybe we would bring Maddie over there. Again, mom knows more than we think, but I agree Jen had something to do with this. Not fair. Right. And we'll talk about that after. I'll answer questions if you want to after all of that. I appreciate you all for being here, and not only just being here, but supporting my channel. I don't know if I missed this one, but See Me 72, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. That means I'm doing something right. Thank you. And I Patty S gifted a membership. I hope whoever got that really wanted it. Nina Drew, 199 super sticker, all appreciated. Thank you so much. All of you guys are amazing. Hit the like button. We're here for Maddie, Madeline Soto, to see justice all the way through. And obviously, I need something to drink. All right. I don't even know if I got myself another one. I might have to grab one in a bit. Rosie said, I missed you yesterday. Couldn't wait for a day. I wasn't on yesterday. I wasn't on. I'll tell you guys later. All right. Sweetie Crazy, is there any cameras showing him carrying her to the car? We're going to have to wait to see. Car, you're lit up. All right, let's keep going, folks. I'll answer questions later. I love you all. Thank you for supporting me. 626 people here. My cup is empty. I do need another one, and I thought I grabbed one, but I'm not going to do that right now. All right. Rebecca, you are a member. Rebecca Dietrich says, I hope I got a membership. You are a member. All right. Reading time. Remember, I'm halfway in and out of vacation, so I came here to do this. All right. Let's get into it. Another incident report 2/28/24. On Wednesday, February 28th, 2024, I was requested to respond to, and then they give the address, in support of a missing person investigation from Kissimmee Police Department that they were conducting. Sergeant Fisher was contacted by investigators from Orange County Sheriff's Office concerning LPR. Hold on. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right. Their investigators also learned the suspect's father, Chris Sterns, had a storage unit rental located at the same address. It was discovered someone had access to storage unit, and it was not the suspect's father. Based on the totality of the circumstances, probable cause was established to draft a co-affiant search warrant for the storage unit in efforts to find the missing person. This is great. Good job, police department. Detective Fegan and I maintained observation of the suspect's parents' residence, so I don't want to give you that. You guys don't ever harass the parents or any of that, okay? Upon arrival, we observed a female later identified as Debra Sterns. Now, this is Stephan's mom outside her residence calling for, we now know it's Madeline Soto. She was out there saying, Maddie, Madeline, where are you, Maddie? Now, 2 vehicles were presented at the residence. The vehicle parked in the driveway was tan in color, a Lincoln bearing Florida tag. We got that registered to Christopher Sterns. Now we know the Lincoln's the one that Stephan Sterns drove. Okay. So it's interesting that he has a car, but he's using his dad's most of the time. I'm assuming it's just a piece of shit and he doesn't use it because it probably doesn't run very well. All right. Second vehicle was a dark colored Honda bearing the Florida tag. Whatever, doesn't matter. It was parked in the swell in front of the residence. The vehicle was registered to Stephan Sterns, who is a suspect for both KPD's case. Okay, Kissimmee Police Department. Both vehicles were unoccupied. Contact was made with Debra, who initially answered the front door very emotional. Debra spontaneously stated she found a torso of and now we know it's an SEX doll. So she found a torso, which boggles me when you think about it. All right. In Stephan's room. This is so like Ted Bundy when grandma finds the mannequin in the room. She could have found a lot more. Anyway, they found a torso of a SEX doll in Stephan's room. Debra eventually calmed her emotions and began to inform us that she has not seen Stephan. However, she believed he came to the residence last night at approximately 3:19 in the morning, which we don't think that's the case because I showed you the timeline earlier. At that time couldn't have been because he hadn't left yet. Debra explained that her dog began to bark at the time, which is typically an alert for someone being in the home. Debra stated she has been home alone and her husband, Christopher Sterns, was in Orange County to assist Stephan in getting a hotel due to a housing crisis. So listen, the lies are already beginning, folks. The housing crisis, which makes no sense because why would he? Anyway, housing crisis is ridiculous, I guess, because the house was being searched. So they were searching the Venetian condo and they had to be out. So Stephan Sterns' dad not only paid for them, but he came down and got them a hotel and him a hotel. So Debra advised me she had discovered Stephan had also been stealing cash from her and Christopher. Debra expressed that she was aware of the allegations of her son and she felt great disgust of her son's actions. Debra was in fear of Stephan possibly hiding, we're going to say Maddie, the missing juvenile, in her home. Debra also explained she has been calling out for Madeline outside in the event of Maddie possibly being abandoned in the woods. Debra allowed units to conduct a sweep of her home and the vehicles on the premises. All right, so we got the report date 3/5/2024, badge number by police. Again, this is the most important information. Detective Fegan and I responded to the storage unit where we stood by the search and rescue We escorted K9 units to, now they're back at the storage. All right. Hopefully it's in order, but it's okay. We got it. We escorted the K9 units to Snug Street, where they stood until the K9s completed their canvass. I returned back to the storage unit and assisted Detective Witkowski and Detective Fegan in canvassing the area of Commerce Parkway. Please see Detective Witkowski's supplement for details. The search warrant was executed on the storage unit in question. I stood while crime scene technicians collected items and took photographs. This concludes my involvement. Now, this is one of about 5 different people. So now we've got the police, Northport, providing a safe community. I'm going to check in with you all. This is the power, cyber power PC tower. Now the dad, Christopher, brings this up again. Yay, we have 637 people in chat. Thank you so much. Today we're going over the documents. We want complete and utter justice for Maddie. So I say hashtag arrest Jennifer Soto. I'm glad you guys are having a good chat. I hope everybody's being nice. Yeah, SEX torsos, but Uncle Google might judge me. Now, Christine, I want to tell you, somebody sent me that it doesn't matter. Somebody sent me that, what it would look like. And as you can imagine, I know you're trying to look up what Uncle Google wanted, and doll a hell of a lot better than child. Yeah, those are actually just not just, but they sell them. You mean you can go into a sex shop and go buy one of those. It's like a portion instead of a real doll, which is like a woman, which costs like $10,000. It's like a portion of it, and they've got the right, we'll say, anatomy. So particularly, I wouldn't judge anybody for that, but Stephan Sterns is just what he did to Maddie, what he's accused of doing to Maddie is absolutely vile, disgusting, and yes, he's a monster. All right. Yeah, I do. I actually was thinking the exact same thing. I absolutely agree with you, Claire. But I don't think she would bring. Yeah, it's interesting the stuff she brings up. Unfortunately, they make. They really? All right. Let me do this while you guys are chatting. I'm gonna go grab me a drink really quick. What's up? Hey, Millie, how are you? We are all being blessed, and I've got some reading in to do. Janet, thank you so much for the £4.99. All right, so you can see this is Northport County. It's a cyber tower. Let me go grab me another drink so I can continue reading and presenting. One sec. Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm back. All right. Now we got our drink. We're ready to rock and roll. Thank you all for being here, by the way. If I haven't said it 117 times, I appreciate you all. And yes, you crime to remember, you can get custom dolls made. Faith and Repentance, what's up? Much love to everyone. Gotta catch a ride for the groceries. Hope to see you soon. Us too. All right, everybody can dance now. Let's go. Yeah, my drink was right by there. I just forgot it. All right. Love you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Keep reading. If you put quarters in the machine, I'll keep reading. All right. Just kidding. What's up, Amber Day? Thank you. I'll leave that up so people can remember that. All right. Let's get to it. Right here. Am I sharing this properly? Double check. There it is. I already had my drink. I just left it by the door. I forgot to bring it in. All right, guys, ladies, people. 3/1/24. I'm gonna say it's 12:54. Agency assist. Location Snug. I'm not really sure. So this is a property receipt of evidence. And can you all imagine what this evidence is going to be? So this is the computer that Christopher Sterns, this is Stephan Sterns' computer that he was concerned about, and clearly and quickly and concisely pointed it out to the police. Hey, this isn't mine. This is Stephan's. I'm concerned about it. Take it. So one cyber PC tower model, whatever series, C series, and then it gives you the description with the power cord. Always important to take the power cord. Mom's already starting to sing. Dad's starting to sing. They're giving more information than they needed to. They gave information about his demeanor, etc. So, all right. So that was taken from the garage, which they talked about. Now these are all the people that signed off on it. So you've got all these different Detective Witzke, Locke. We're going to see all these people at trial if that ever happens. All right. Police property report. Providing a safe community. Let's see what else. So Christopher Sterns is the owner again of the house. Never go and do anything. All right, guys. We had this typed out, but there's a little more description here. Make sure I didn't. I was making sure I didn't mute myself. And thank you all for being here so much. You guys are amazing. Millie says these are coming out slowly but surely. This is from 324. Imagine all they have we don't know about. And Millie, in chat while I'm reading this, if you would give me your theory why they're introducing this information the way they do. Nina Drew, Chris Laundry, and did you know the Laundries live like 8 miles from the Sterns? Isn't that interesting? All right, let's keep going. Christine, if you're talking to me, thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, what was his demeanor? It's interesting that they were giving his demeanor. They were giving out all kinds of information on their son. I'm glad, but thank you, Michelle Britton. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Back to it. So, miscellaneous papers and receipts. Keychain photo of a young female, which we're sure it's probably Maddie. It's going to be interesting to hear about any other information because they did get all of those drives. And I've always said that I think Stephan Sterns was trading pictures of himself and Maddie to get other photos of other children. So it's going to be very, very interesting as this comes out. Also, arrest Jen Soto. All right, so they got a bracelet in a box, and we saw this earlier, teal and yellow with Stephan in the beads. Obviously, Maddie probably made that for him. They got the Sandys Cruiser. You could just see it. This is the same thing. It's just in their handwriting, which is very nice of them to type it up. Also, keep in mind that if the police do anything wrong, they can compromise a case, folks, by doing something wrong. So let's say they called it the wrong thing and then it gets in the court and gets in a trial and it says something could be a big deal and cause issues in the trial. So I'm just going to stop and say a prayer for the police department, for Maddie, and for everybody involved in this case to get this case right the first time, and let's get the perpetrators that deserve to be arrested, okay? This is a lot of work on their side. All right, so we saw this list, everybody. We saw this. They typed it out. Okay, we saw the recovered from the storage unit. This was from their house. This is from the storage unit, and then they have to all sign off on it. So a lot of work that they did here. Search warrant, same thing, 1 unit lock. So they cut the lock off. They swabbed the metal. Great job. Swabbed the rope cord. That's what they call it. Rope cord. I get it. And handle. Same thing again. So then here they got the search warrant. They did all the right things for the locker, for the house. All right. More narrative, which is what you guys and I love. So now let's go. Let me just check in with y'all. Make sure I didn't lose anybody. 649 people in chat. Thank you so much. What a nice welcome. What a nice welcome. I love each and every single one of you. Teresa, it's okay that you're late. We're going to timestamp this. And when I say we, Bree's going to timestamp this. And you guys can look at whatever direction you want. You can listen to my cliff notes, or you can just get right into the documents. Robin B, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I missed you, Jane, and I missed you all so very much, even despite all the things sometimes I have to put up with. It's okay. All right, I'm glad you guys aren't going anywhere. And yeah, Stephan Sterns, I wanted to tell you he was 38 because I'm 40 freaking 5. I'm 45 and he's 38 and he looks like he's like 60. Man, he's an evil, ugly monster. All right. Okay, I don't normally say things and it doesn't matter about that, but I cannot stand Stephan Sterns. And the more I think about him, the more I just, it makes me so angry. I think Sterns did a lot of his nasty trading through I do too. It's okay if you guys are late. This again makes me ask the question, did Jennifer Soto ever get money from Stephan Sterns' mom? That is a good question. And hopefully we'll find out something. But I don't think Jennifer Soto was getting money from anybody except from whatever hustle she did. I don't think Stephan Sterns had to pay for it. I hate him, Kathy Rivera. All right, guys, let's get into the rest of the narrative. SoCal Brat says, in fairness, Jay, you look very young for age. Well, thank you. That is, we will be in fairness. Yeah, it's creepy to hear about the torso. Evil eyes. Yeah, all that. All right, let's go. Yeah, he is very much a deviant, and he looks old, and he's the devil himself. So, poor Maddie. May she rest in peace now, not having to deal with that. All right, more narrative. Thursday, February 29th at approximately 3:39, I was contacted on my department-issued cell phone. This is from another police officer, which we'll see at the end. Okay. By Sergeant Fisher, detective at this CSU, was requested to respond to the unit again, B124, in reference to premise search warrant for agency. I immediately contacted crime scene technician Walker. Upon arrival, 4:43, we met. So I'm assuming this is during the day, 4:43 p.m. And they name all the officers, all right, that were investigating a missing person. They haven't found Maddie yet. Detective Sergeant Fisher advised that a premise search warrant was signed by Judge Krug, or Krug, whoever, and he requested that the exterior door of the storage unit be processed prior to the storage unit being open. Smart. The evidence sought in the search warrant includes the victim and or clothing that she was wearing, photographs of the scene, or any other evidence, implements or devices relating to subject matter of this warrant that could be used in violations of Florida state law. Sock it to him, guys. Sock it to him. All right. So the officer was Casey Howe. All right. The weather during the search warrant was mostly cloudy and approximately 63 degrees Fahrenheit. Overall photographs were taken to document the location and condition of the scene as I found it. A visual examination of the scene revealed that B24 was secured with a locked overhead door. The storage unit, rope cord and handle, and metal handle were swabbed for potential biological evidence, utilizing one sterile cotton tip applicator, moistened with sterile water for each area, utilizing sterile latent fingerprint brushes and sterile black fingerprint powder. The exterior of the overhead door was processed for latent fingerprint evidence with the assistance of crime scene technician Walker with negative results. All right. Northport Fire Rescue personnel were contacted to assist with removing the lock from a storage unit. They did a great job. They're very careful and they want to preserve evidence and collect it in the right way. Good job. All right. Upon opening the storage unit, multiple boxes and storage containers were observed. Remember, Stephan Sterns was very filthy in nature as a person. So I'm wondering how the storage unit looked, if it was organized. He kept Maddie's stuff as mementos. I mean, knowing that he may get caught at some point, you're almost guaranteed when you have that many photos that he had. I mean, like thumb drive after thumb drive of her that he probably went back and watched on a regular basis. He saw her a lot and he still needed that extra. I don't know. He's disgusting, man. Disgusting man. Anyway, okay. Upon opening the storage unit, multiple boxes, nothing of evidentiary value was located. Physical evidence collected, multiple devices conducted a search of the storage unit. I'm sorry, multiple detectives conducted a search. Yeah, we saw I think 4 or 5. I think 5 different people. I'm glad. Yellow colored numerical evidence markers were placed to indicate items of evidentiary value as follows. Marker 1 indicates 1 cut storage unit lock. All right. Additional items of evidentiary value: swab of lock, swab of rub cord, swab of metal. Note dispositions. The search warrant concluded on Thursday, February 29th at approximately 5:36. A copy of the search warrant and handwritten Northport Police Department property receipt were left at the scene, which, as you know, or may not, they have to do that when they put a search warrant or when they conduct a search warrant. They always have to leave a hard copy there. No matter where, they just have to drop it and go. All right. All collected items were packaged and submitted to evidence. Items will be held in evidence pending future requests for analysis. 69 digital photographs were uploaded to the secure server for viewing and storage. All digital photographs were also copied to DVR and submitted to evidence. All right, y'all. More narratives about the locker. Yeah. Keep in mind that we went through a ton of there was 22 PDFs, which were in each PDF were a certain amount of pages. We went through them so we wouldn't bore you to death and make your eyes burn or mine burn while I'm doing this. So again, thank you, Bree, for helping me. Thank you, Without Limits Budgets with Aaron Lynn. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you. And I like your picture there. Hopefully I see you back here. I hope all of you are getting what you want out of being here today. Yeah, we did try to narrow it down, but we narrowed it down as much as we could. We're at 1 hour and 17 minutes, and I think we're doing pretty well, even with my cliff notes. All right, I'm going to go through them real quick after, too, the whole document. I'm going to scroll through so you can see, a lot of the handwriting and the pages. Thank you, Lauren. All right. And I will, again, if you have questions at the end, I could certainly try to answer those. Where did Stephan Sterns get the money for the torso toy? He probably stole it from his parents. And it's interesting that his mom would call him out like that at the very beginning of an investigation. All right. Thanks, Gothic Bree, for being a member for 3 months. That's almost as long as I've been able to be monetized. Yeah, I can't get over my mom's interaction with the police department either. It's creepy, and it's interesting that we heard the interactions with in their email threads versus now how she calls her son a monster, but yet they feed into his addiction for his root beer candy and his coffee. Absolutely. You know what? I can't show you what a torso toy is, but it just think of sex shop stuff. There's nothing wrong with anybody that likes to go to the sex shop and buy their toys, whatever. As a matter of fact, if you read my book, there's a lot of that kind of funny stuff. I use it in a funny way. But who he is, Stephan Sterns, is absolutely vile and disgusting. So I don't even want to tell you for Uncle Google it. Just think of it as a partial blow-up doll. We'll call it that, okay? And the mom found that. You'll have to go back and be the rewatch crew. All right, let's there you go. Bree, there it is. All right, that's what that is. Little Red, if somebody would drop my please drop my book down below. Thank you, and I'm going to keep going now. Yes, Millie, I think you came in a little late. We definitely have talked about that, but we haven't gotten to it yet. They know he's a monster. I believe they both do. All right. Back to my PDF. All right. More narrative. 2/28/24. I requested to respond to the Executive Avenue is the storage. So, in reference, the agency assist with trying to locate a missing juvenile. Upon arrival, I was briefed of the situation which turned out to be a possible homicide victim, and she's possibly in the storage unit. That's what they were told. Now, Kissimmee detectives explained that the missing juvenile, and it's Maddie, was supposed to be dropped off by her school, or I'm sorry, dropped off at her school by, and then it says something, I don't know what that means. At her school by, I don't know what. Maybe someone fill the blanks, but either way, it says Stephan Sterns. I was informed that Maddie never made it to school after several days of searching for her in the Kissimmee area. She had not been located, and Stephan Sterns was arrested for SA and child PORN for what was found in his cell phone. So interesting that he couldn't get rid of it. He had so much of it, everybody, that he couldn't get rid of it after factory reset, and then he still had more thumb drives. Absolutely terrible. Furthermore, investigation revealed Stephan may have come to Northport, where his parents lived, and entered into his father's storage facility. It was believed that Stephan may have been in his father's unit, and the Kissimmee detectives explained to us that someone used his father's code to get in, and the father is saying that he lost his key to the unit months ago and cannot find it. Stephan is believed to have been at the storage unit for less than 10 minutes before he heads back to I-75. At the time I arrived, Kissimmee detectives believe that Madeline may be deceased and her body may be located in the storage unit. I assisted in searching for empty storage units on the property with Sergeant S and Commander Myers. Nothing was found. I then assisted with reviewing Detective C's search warrant for storage B-124. The search warrant was signed, and the storage container was searched with negative results in locating Maddie. Once this was accomplished, the scene was released, and I cleared the area. Nothing further. All right, folks, more narrative. All right, so this is Debra Sterns. This is the narrative of Debra Sterns. So if you haven't, if you've been here, you got to hear that in the beginning. I'm glad we got 500 likes. We have 615 people still in chat. Thank you so much. M4, what's up? All right, this is a big one. This is Debra's or Deb, his mom's narrative. Word for word. Now, in the beginning, I gave you an overview because I wanted to put in all the different things that have been happening with the case. SoCal Brad says storage was entered the night they were at the hotel. Correct, SoCal. Stephan Sterns went there for less than 10 minutes. All right. Krista, I am glad you feel that way. I'll leave that up for a minute. All right. Let me read Debra's now. Word for word. Wednesday, February 28th, at approximately 21:46 hours, Detective Robles and I arrived on the scene, and that is their house, I believe, which I don't want to call out. All right. On our arrival, we observed a female, later identified as Debra Sterns, outside her residence calling out for Maddie. So when they pulled up, she was out there calling Maddie's name. 2 vehicles were present at the residence in a tan color Lincoln bearing Florida tag, whatever. That's the Lincoln he was driving, Stephan Sterns, which was unoccupied and forward facing in the driveway. This vehicle is registered to the homeowner, Christopher Sterns. The second vehicle was parked in the swale in the front of the residence. This vehicle was facing east and was also unoccupied and is described as a dark gray brown colored Honda featuring Florida or bearing Florida tag, whatever, doesn't matter. This vehicle is registered to Stephan Sterns. So he actually does have a car, he's not driving it. Somebody said he couldn't afford his gas. I don't know about that. It was a Honda. So Hondas are very affordable. Probably didn't run too well. Who knows? I'd like to see a picture of it. Anyway, both vehicles were visually inspected and nothing overtly suspicious was observed. Contact was eventually made with Debra, who was very emotional during our initial interaction. Initially, Debra only appeared to be upset. Interesting. I'll read this again because initially, Debra only appeared to be upset by a torso she found in her son Stephan's room. Debra would elaborate on this torso and described it as a SEX doll. This was later determined to be a rubber plastic toy found by Debra that she was cleaning the room where Stephan had been staying. Debra advised that Stephan was not here, but she believed he had returned to the property last night. Now, those things are not cheap, folks. So, however he was getting his money, I think a lot of people may be right. Not only was he stealing from his parents, but I believe he was probably selling and trading not only the figurines, but possibly the images. He had so many of them, folks, so many of them. And I think that will come out. It was later divulged by Debra that she was awoken at 3:19 in the morning to her 5 dogs barking in a manner to alert her that someone was at the house. Debra's husband, Chris, was not home last night, and he had ventured to Orange County at approximately 2300 hours to assist their son, Stephan Sterns, with a recent housing crisis. Debra believed that if Stephan returned to their residence, that he either returned, Debra believed that if Stephan returned to their residence, that he either returned to Jennifer Soto's, I'm assuming, or for cash that was kept within the home by her and Chris. Debra advised that she retrieved, it doesn't say, I can't tell what that is, from Stephan's room and secured them inside her bedroom last evening. I don't know what that is. All right, Debra permitted us entry into her residence to conduct a security sweep of the home. That was good of them to do that. I'm glad they did that. Unlike the laundries that tried to take it to the grave, I'm grateful that they did that and they let them in to do a security sweep of the home, folks. There could have been a lot of things that were that went missing. Nothing of evident entry value was observed, and the room where Stephan Sterns resided was photographed to accurately depict its appearance. The 28 digital images were later uploaded to evidence.com. Debra would later disclose that she and Christopher are aware of allegations against their son. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to check in with you, and then I'll keep reading. I'll keep reading like I'm a bot. Put coins in, and I read. Just kidding. I love you guys. Thank you so much, Nina, for gifting the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, and crime to remember, absolutely. As hard as it may be, don't go to the homes and harass the families on either side. We never, ever, ever do that. That's not justice. We don't want that. We don't promote that. Nothing. What adorable pictures of Maddie. Sorry, I'm late. It's okay. Yeah, sad to say, a lot of sick mofo gotta go. Right. All right. Let me double check I didn't miss anything. And thank you for the 5 memberships that you gifted. I hope somebody that really needs a membership and wants it gets one. MFAR, good stuff. You're doing great. Congrats on all the channel success. Thank you. Thank you. I try to keep it real with you all and straightforward. And this is my case that I hold near and dear. So I cannot be a robot, folks, and just read. You're at the wrong channel if that's what you're looking for. All right, Amber Day. Yes, you got gifted a membership. Love from San Diego, my second favorite place. I will probably buy a house there one day. I'll still be in San Jose, but I want to be there too. All right. Night of her party, father was called to help Stephan Sterns. It wasn't the night of her party. It was like a day and a half later or 2 days later. And that's when they got the hotel. All right. Millie, he was selling CP and producing movies in exchange with others. He was also probably part of a big ring. They're looking into this. We'll probably see more in time or trial. All right. Yes, I miss you all too. Let's go. All right. I'm going to keep reading. More narrative, which is always great. Stephan and that Christopher is currently being interviewed by the agency investigating the allegations. Debra expressed her disgust at the crimes her son is alleged to have committed and is hoping that Madeline is found alive. Debra, it says opened. I don't know what they spelled it wrong. Opined. Debra opened that these allegations worried her to the point that when she found the torso, she initially believed it to be real. And I believe that she believed it to be real because that happens a lot when people, like I said earlier, find a real body. They think it's like the opposite. They think it's a mannequin. All right. This then led her to exit her residence and call out for Maddie. This is what Detective Robles and I heard at our arrival, as Debra ultimately believed that Stephan had returned at 3:19 in the morning and potentially abandoned Maddie in the wooded area surrounding their residence. I walked to the exterior of the home and the accessible adjoining lots and did not locate anything of evidentiary value. All right. After clearing this location, I responded to the storage facility where I was then asked to check a model home. I don't need the property address, as this is a property that Stephan may have frequented due to Christopher's relationship with the builder at Bright Homes. If you guys know anything about that, it's just like a model home or something. This residence was secured and nothing of evidentiary value was located. I then escorted a canine rescue team over to the Snug Street address, refer to Detective Wachowski's supplement for details on the area canvass on Snug Street that were conducted together. Furthermore, the same supplement will accurately reflect my involvement on the area canvass of Commerce Parkway. I would then return to the storage facility location where I'd remain until the search warrant was executed on the storage unit in question. At no point did I enter the unit or handle any of the contents. This concludes my involvement in this matter. And there are many of these in the document. I'll scroll through after just so you can see it, just over and over and over, different officers. All right, so now they're getting into the cars, a continuation of the narrative. We've got the Lincoln tanned four-door and I don't know what this is, the tags, whatever, expired 2023. So this is the car that he drove, the Lincoln that he was driving around with Maddie's body and got the flat tire. And then the other one is a Honda 2012 taupe color four-door. So one was his, one was dad's. He would drive his dad's around. Why? We don't know. Good question. All right. Recovered location. They gave the address, recovered date, 2/28, article of evidence, and then their description, 28 digital images of Stephan's room, evidence.com. All right, folks, more narrative. And this talks about the unit. And let's see. What is this? All right. Let's just go. At approximately 22:08, I requested to respond to life storage located at Northport. We're not going to say it. It's just Northport, Florida, approximately 22:35. I arrived at the crime. Oh, I wonder what they call it. I arrived at the crime scene and contacted the other the other on the scene detectives who essentially advised we were assisting other agencies with a possible homicide and SA investigation pertaining to a missing juvenile identified as Madeline Soto, who was last seen in Kissimmee, Florida. Specifically, the Kissimmee detectives had established probable cause that the missing juvenile's corpse may have been placed within Unit B-124 by, and then I don't know what that is, identified as Stephan Sterns. Maybe it's a Stephan Michael Sterns. All right, let me make sure, check in with y'all, make sure everybody's still here. Hello, hello. I had to step away, but I'm back. I'm glad you're back. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Nora Rosario, for becoming a new member. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the love and support here today and being good people. Sweetie says you should talk to Nicole. She is in mental health. I missed a lot of things, but you guys can always email me. And Melly says I was just going to say I can get us new names, IDs. We can run it after live on an island. You guys are amazing. All right, I'm going to keep going. I see everybody saying hi. Hello, Miss Odin. Sorry, you were in a food coma. Lynette. Hello, Sadie's mama. Much love to you. One of my favorites as well. All right. Now, missing Jack's. What was found in that Debra thought was a torso? Well, I can't show you a picture of it. I wish I could. But if you go to an adult store, just think of a blow-up doll that only has part of the blow-up doll, but it has all the anatomically correct parts. So she found it would look like a torso, but it was a, what it says, SEX doll, we'll call it. Yeah, it was that. It's just a part of one. Okay. Thank you all for explaining that in chat. I'm going to keep reading the narrative. All right, so we got to that. I provided security for the Sarasota search and rescue teams while they examined the storage center and checked the public swell on Snug Street. During the check of the storage center, the handler advised, now, when they're talking about handlers, they're talking about cadaver dogs. So they brought the cadaver dogs to make sure that they weren't going to find a body in one of the units. They were looking for Maddie's body over there. All right. Handler advised a change of behavior by the dogs in the approximate area of B-124, which was Stephan Sterns, or I should say it was his dad's storage unit. That's how much he mooched off of them, folks. Couldn't even use his own storage unit because he couldn't afford it, which Handler advised denoted an area of interest. The SSR teams did not advise of any alerts from Snug Street. Detective Fegan and I conducted a neighborhood canvass surrounding I'm not going to say that, the home of Stephan's biological parents, the poodle people, during which the following houses, and they blanked it out, were located. Unknown. It is unknown if blank anything of value. Additional follow-up will be needed if deemed necessary. An open home under construction in the vicinity of their house is also adjacent to a dump trailer were checked, and then they give us the addresses to where they checked. All right, so we got all these Detective Robles, and he signs off, Officer Witkowski, the badge number, etc. All right, so here's some see what they got here. So something for evidence, nothing pertinent was discovered. Oh, so they checked all these locations, folks, which is great. I think they, again, 100 times, they did a fantastic job. Thank you to Florida Police Department for doing that for Kissimmee and Northport. Unlike Cape Coral, we'll get into that tomorrow. Hashtag find Lauren. All right, I'm going to read this. Take a drink. All right, so as I read this, I am going to check in with y'all. Yeah, MFAR, they are rock stars. They did an amazing job. It's funny is that lady that was asking me to just read the dang documents earlier is probably not even here anymore. Isn't that funny? All right. Thank you all Thank you all. They absolutely do. Thank you for explaining. Jill Corpy says, did Stephan Sterns throw something? Did he throw some away from the storage? They didn't find anything. He sure didn't do a good job of throwing things away, but he did go there for less than 10 minutes that night. So I tried to remember he may have had a potato doll. You're right. Yeah, they're expensive. Those dolls are really expensive, folks. They're not cheap unless he got a cheap one, which I don't know. Because you can get a nice, real-looking doll with a beautiful face for under $500. I don't have one. I just heard. Yeah, there's a whole documentary on those, folks. They're called real dolls. So if you want to look up a real doll, it may be safer for Uncle Google. Just saying, if you really want to know. All right. And I do want to read this. Teresa, Letitia Stout detectives took 6 weeks or more because the media detectives solved this thing and found her in mere days. Absolutely right. Now, remember, Gannon got dumped all the way, and I hate even saying that. She dumped his body all the way going out towards Florida, and they were in Colorado. So crazy. All right. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Candy. 10,000. I had no idea. Yeah, these people buy these. No, people buy these and collect them, and a lot of people have money that buy them. By the way, it's a big thing here in Silicon Valley. I'm in Silicon Valley where people have too much money around here. I wish they would just give me some of their too much and stop buying those dolls. Rosie Rose, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you. Thank you. All is appreciated. I have 15,000 something members. If everybody gave 99 cents, I'd be a rock star. Thank you. All right, I'm going to keep reading. I just like to check in with you all. And thank you, Brenda, for being a member for 3 months. Apparently that lady doesn't know Jay, and the crew talks it out. Love you, Jay. You're doing great. Thank you, Brenda. Yes, I love to give you my feedback and give you the narrative before I read the narrative. So thank you. All right. I am not a robot. There's a whole I am not a cat. Guess what? I'm not a robot. And even if you gave me quarters, I wouldn't sit there and read all day. No, that's not why they call it Silicon Valley, but it could be. All right, let's go. Back to it. Okay, so these are all the places that they checked, folks, and it's all on Technology Avenue, these first ones. They checked the Strata Services, CrossFit Northport, Gillies Custom Pools, James Weaver Roofing, West Coast Auction Company, Northport Gymnastics, Everglade Equipment Group, Stanley Steamer. Oh, hi, Stanley Steamer. They're helping me with my house right now. Okay. Lifesong Midwifery, Mark Kaufman Roofing, Adams Group, and then Eurowall Systems. Man, good vibes and everything to this police department and multiple police departments that work together. I assisted with executing a search warrant on a storage unit, again, Unit B124, and these are different officers, but thank you, Bree, for helping me sift through this. Gives a little bit different information. After processing the exterior, the Northport Fire Department responded and cut the circular lock from the unit, granting us access. During the search of the unit, I did not locate any evidentiary value. More specifically, the unit appeared to have been well maintained. There you go. There's a description, and was not in a state of disarray, nor appeared to have been recently disturbed. Inside were multiple boxes with miscellaneous items, none of which were pertinent to the investigation. Upon completing the search, I departed without incident. 3/1/2024, I returned to the life storage facility and contacted Dennis Casey, assistant store manager. Regarding this investigation, Dennis provided the following verbal information and records pertinent to the investigation. Dennis explained the computer printout previously provided regarding Christopher Sterns' storage unit and facility access. Specifically, he disclosed the computer system periodically and randomly conducts checks of the assigned users in order to validate their account status. Dennis provided a computer printout of Christopher's account activity from 1/1 to present, which showed Christopher's access code was used twice on 1/31/24 at 8:55 in the morning. So they did one entry keypad granted entry, and again on the same date at 9:01. So 8:55, and then 6 minutes later, exit keypad granted exit. The only other time Christopher's access code was utilized was on 2/16/2024. This is as we approach Maddie going missing and taking her life. Stephan Sterns, allegedly. All right. Then at 18:11 hours, there's an entry keypad granted entry, and again on the same date at 8:13. So like 2 minutes later, exit keypad granted exit. Christopher's access code was not used as previously thought. However, this information was not known at the time of the lawfully requested and executed warrant. Dennis also provided a list of all users who had accessed the storage facility on 3/28, none of which appear to be relevant to this investigation. Detective St. Jean or John then went to the address, contacted both Christopher and Debra Sterns to discuss the investigation, during which they provided the following unsworn verbal information pertinent to this investigation. Detective St. Jean or John recorded the conversation via his department cell phone. Refer to his supplemental report for further information. All right, before I keep reading, I'm going to check in with you all. Make sure we're all good. Make sure I didn't just mute myself and everyone's like, hey, what happened here? All right. All right. Doot. All right, guys. Let's see. Yes, I agree. Oh, man. All right. No, I didn't freeze up. I'm just taking a quick. We definitely have to still keep reading. So I'm like, okay, where's the bottom half? The bottom half of what? The document? Are we talking about the document? I'm still going. It's just the way it pulls it up, folks. It's all there. I got lots of documents, CBC. And no, this time I can't offer to email it, because last time I emailed the DNA analysis to everybody, I had to send probably like 80 of them by hand. Oh, where's the bottom half of the girl? Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess they can't afford the whole thing, so they just do a torso style. All right. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. That was funny. That made me laugh. All right. What's up, Teresa? Let's go. Christopher. All right. Now we're back to the narrative and what Christopher said. Remember, they're talking, folks. They could say, you know what? I don't want to talk about this. They can hide up. And now, had the parents, Christopher and Debra, I'm not giving them any credit other than what we see here. I'm glad that they talked and gave them access. But they could have prevented this many years ago by not covering up their son's stuff, bull that he did many years and many times ago. But here's what Christopher said right now on 2/28 at 3:15. He met Stephan. Okay, here's the hotel thing, folks. This is what I've been talking about when they met at the hotel. I'm excited to be reading this to y'all. Okay, so Chris met Stephan at their hotel in Kissimmee after his phone was seized by law enforcement. Now, you remember that body cam footage, folks, where he was in the lobby of Yolanda's work, and they had asked him something about, was that then? Oh no, it was in the other commentary where they asked for his phone and he says, I'm waiting for my dad. Anyway, So his phone was seized already by law enforcement. He opined. I don't know why it says, I don't know what that word is. Opined? I guess. What does that mean? This is going to tell me here. Anyway, he opened. I don't know. Opined Stephan was extremely exhausted. Someone could tell me in chat what opined, because that's a word. Stephan was extremely exhausted and now here's his narrative. Was extremely exhausted and seemed to have a heavy weight, metaphorically, pressing on him, and seemed to have fabricated an explanation regarding the factory reset of his seized cellular phone. After checking into the hotel, Christopher advised they all went to sleep in their respective rooms. So, between approximately 9 o'clock and 9:45 hours, it doesn't really say anything here, contacted him and asked if he knew where Stephan went. Maybe this is Jennifer Soto. Maybe at 9 Jennifer Soto contacted him, asked if he knew where Stephan went, as he had left their hotel shortly before. Remember, all the Jen Soto's name is like not in here anywhere. It's redacted. He recalled Stephan returned to the hotel sometime between 11:15 and 11:30. Christopher later learned that his son traveled to Northport, but claimed he had no idea. Now we know where he went. To the storage. Furthermore, Christopher explained, and then it gets into a lot of redaction. I don't know what that says. During the interview, Christopher received a phone call from another law enforcement agency wherein they alerted him, Maddie's body had been recovered. After receiving the call, Christopher appeared solemn and upset. She had indeed been unalive, folks. So they get the call then while they're searching the condo and they're at the hotel, it looks like. Wow. After receiving the call, Christopher appeared solemn and prior to departing the residence, Christopher explained his son had left a gaming computer at their residence and he had placed it in the garage after he was arrested. Wow. As he no longer wanted it in his home and believed it was of evidentiary value to law enforcement. He further recalled Stephan had accessed the computer within the past week, possibly after Maddie went missing. Debra denied Stephan had ever returned to their home on Wednesday. She explained how she viewed him as a monster and inquired why the media and public blamed both her and Chris for her adult son's heinous deeds. Well, lady, it's because you had been enabling him for years and paying people off. That's why. Anyhow, let's go. So mom called him a monster. I think they know the gravity at this point in the situation. Debra explained she was calling the victim's name, Maddie. We keep going. Outside on Wednesday in the chance her son had brought Maddie back to Northport after she learned he had allegedly returned. When she learned the child's body had been recovered, Debra began sobbing and remained essentially speechless. She accused Stephan as knowing Maddie. Oh, it is. I don't want to use, I'm going to say great. I'm going to think this. I think this is Jen Soto, folks. She accused Jen Soto as knowing that Maddie was raped for years before she was subsequently, her life was taken. That's a big one, folks. That's a big one. Where do you think she's getting that information from? Wow. People are funny. I don't even want to read this sometimes. I'm a robot. I'm just going to read the documents. And if I'm loud, folks, you guys can lower your volume. All right. So if you're in here telling me stupid stuff in my chat, lower your volume or get out of here. All right. I took a break to check on y'all and somebody has said a stupid comment. Yeah. So that brings me to the very beginning of what in the heck and how long did they know? I am a cute robot. Thank you. Put some quarters and I will read for you. Let's keep reading. Yeah, if Debra knew that Jen knew, then Debra knew about all of it and did nothing. Absolutely. I am a robot. Thank you for all your hard work. You're the best. Kate Carlson. Thank you. Give me quarters and I'll read. Thank you. Thank you, Kate Carlson. I'm going to keep reading and I appreciate you because when people just want to talk crap in my chat, it's crazy. All right. Poor Rebecca. I missed some good reading of talks. All right. That's a bit J-Bot. Nah, right. Your passion is why we're here, Jay. Thank you, Amber. This is my case, so to speak. I literally take this to heart. And yeah, Debra sucks. I don't know why they're not talking more and why they're not in trouble. That's a good question. And I wonder that too. And please, let's arrest Jen Soto. Right. I'm going to keep reading. That was a big one. That's hard to swallow, folks. All right. Cleveland, thank you. Thank you. I can keep reading for this. I can't read anything. My eyes suck. 51 and menopause. Yeah, I need your help with all the information. You're awesome, Jay. Your mom raised a beautiful daughter. Reminds me of mine. Now I'll keep going. Thank you. When someone cuts me down, it's hard. Yeah. All right, let's go. I'm going to keep reading for you. And Brenda, thank you. I'm in shock too. And I've seen this and I've gone over it and it still makes me so upset. So Debra accused Jen Soto of knowing. This is before the emails, folks. This is before the emails. So Debra says, or the officer says, I contacted my supervisor regarding Stephan's computer, who concurred to take the device as evidence in order to later transfer it to Kissimmee Police Department for further action. I completed a property receipt identified as CyberPower PC Tower Model C Series, and then it gives that all that, and departed the residence without incident. I submitted the computer into evidence and the storage facility documents into records at NPPD, ending my involvement. Ooh, that's a hard one to swallow, folks. Unbelievable that the parents knew and they did nothing. All right, so this is going to give descriptions. You guys can go back and watch the other videos with the parents. It gives in depth. This talks about Christopher Walker. His name is Christopher Walker Sterns. Gives his address, 5'11", gray or partially gray, and then we don't want phone numbers or any of that. All right, so then we get into more on the parents. It's interesting how they put all this stuff out first. So then they just get the owner of this and the description of the tower. Now that dad didn't want anything to do with that computer. So it's like, hey, that's my son's. That stuff's Stephan's. None of that's mine. He could get a lot of trouble for that. So they took the computer, put that into evidence, sent it to the property room, and that's that. I'm going to go ahead and see if I'm sharing this one, if I'm scrolling through so I can see if I missed anything. Let's stop this for a second. Yeah, I agree with that. They tried saving face. They not only saving face, folks, but think about it this way. Think about if they don't say that, and think about the parents not saying anything and them not saying anything and then them taking that into evidence. It's on them. It's on them. It's their car. It's their stuff. All right, I'm going to show you all the documents real quick just so you can see as we scroll through them. A lot of things are redundant, but I just kind of want you to see the things that were taken into evidence, etc. So let's go here. These are all the pages combined. And if I miss something, then I'll show you. If not, then we could do questions. And then I think we're done for the day. This is a really big case. So these are all of the documents now. They didn't want him to take them down. They're cowards too. They're cowards for not telling. They're cowards for not saying anything, folks. And I want to hear what Not the Mama says. We as a society know the signs and symptoms of, CSA. How could everyone in her life not see it? Her sad eyes. Think about physically. I do think about that, Not the Mama. I think about that all the time. Now, NG, you're right. Her mom's saying that she knew that she was SA'd for many years by different partners. It makes them guilty of something. You're absolutely 110% correct, and I'm wondering how this is going to play out. Thank you, Teresa, for the $2 super sticker. I'm going to do this too. This is how I feel right now. You're adorable. Thank you. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anyone, then I'll go and show you the documents just so you know they're all there. Yeah, it's on their property. They should be liable at some level. Everybody should be liable to something, and I think they should be liable for what they did, what they didn't do with Maddie, them knowing all these years, folks. Justice for Madeline Soto. Rest in peace, sweet child. Yeah, I think, thank you. We'll stop for 2 seconds and say just a moment of silence for Maddie. Man, that's harsh. That baby girl. And remember, today we're going over the PDFs and what did the parents know? We're starting to learn that. Yeah. Stephan Sterns never took Maddie. Stephan Sterns wouldn't take Maddie to the doctor. It should be Jennifer Soto. Nancy Jean says, you are the best person to be telling us this because you obviously feel passionate about Maddie, not just difficult police reports. Not only passionate about Maddie, I absolutely do. She is our angel, but I have a daughter that is 9 years old. She'll be 10 in October. And I know what it feels like to have a daughter that's that age. And all the things that you guys are saying, I just, I can relate to it. Jay, quit thanking people for supporting you. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop thanking people. Sorry. I am a robot. Let's look through the documents. I won't have an opinion. All right. Let's see if we missed anything. Thank you, Tracy, for all the love from New Zealand. That's awesome. All right. You guys are too much. SS prayer. Yeah, they do flip-flop back and forth. They are just as guilty for knowing. I agree. Arrest them all. That I agree. Ah. All right. Let me run through the documents real quick. Just so you can see everything. All right. That you don't think that you missed something. All right. So all the activity detail. Now, these are all the pages that got dumped, and that's it. There's just a bunch of dispatch, like who dispatched what, a bunch of people, the officers that assisted. They set a timer set for a unit. A lot of legal jargon that I don't exactly know, but I know they need it for court. They got a lot of addresses in here, dispatcher times when they left the residence. Residence is clear. Interviewing mom. This is pretty cool. So that they just minute by minute. Auto on scene. Residence is clear. They're interviewing the mom. It just doesn't get into much detail, but it talks about like at 22:56. The Sarasota search and rescue, cadaver canine. I mean, there's useful information in here, but it's not information that I'm going to sit there and read for hours. But I wanted to show it to you so you can see that we have it all. And you guys can go get this yourself. It's on the website for Osceola Court or Osceola County. That's where we got it from. That's where Bree downloaded it from, and many other people. So, I mean, you can see the officers, how many units they had. They did their job. They did their job. Thank you, police department, for doing your job. Absolutely amazing. All right, assistant officer. Just going through so many of these pages. Thank you, Marie, for going through this. Timer set for 1800 seconds. I don't know exactly what they set the timer for, but you can see, all the activity that they were doing, they put it down. Big gym, self-storage, a lot of stuff. City Hall they went to, a lot of just, they got all their people too, Lawrence and Elizabeth, and just every activity. Interview of Christopher Sterns, which we went through already. Papers, keychain, photo, bracelet with Stephan Sterns. Says Stephan, data sticks, swabs. They got their log for the initial crime scene. They definitely crossed their T's and dotted their I's. The agencies that they work for. So some were Sarasota, some were MPPD. Investigation, initial crime scene, time in, time out. All right, so this one I didn't see. Public record request exemptions. Record requested, active criminal investigation, intelligence, child crimes, Marcy's Law. In fulfilling the above request pursuant, the Florida Public Record Act exempt and or confidential information has been redacted pursuant to these laws. Okay, so again, crossing T's, dotting I's. They used their laws and they did what they were supposed to do with Marcy's Law and all that. So to keep the names out, they did their surveillance techniques, procedures, and all these have the laws that go along with it. So when it comes to trial, it's all good. They're going to have everything. Victim of domestic violence, aggravated stalking. So they have that in there. And you got to think about this, folks. They kept Jennifer Soto's name out because they didn't know at the time her level of involvement. Although when they wrote the document, when they wrote it up, they said that Jennifer Soto had used Madeline Soto's name in the past tense. So they were starting to kind of look at her a little bit. And, of course, they're going to look at the parents. Well, Stephan's not a parent, but they thought that. And hey, Jude, glad you're going through everything, learning so much, and answering a lot of questions. You are welcome. That's what I'm here for. Again, this is my case. Strategic. Let's see what strategic said. I'm paralegal. I know about the docs. Strategic eyes said they are charging him with premeditated. Well, I didn't see that in these documents. They did say that initially. They absolutely said that initially. But I don't see those charges right now, and I don't see those on here. So again, he's New York Police Department. So if he knows something I don't know, he has other information too. But thank you for saying that. We support Strategic Eyes, love his content, and he's our guy. Carlene says, I'm sure when trials have concluded, there's going to be a documentary, right? Like, oh yeah, there's already starting to be. Hey Jude says, Marcy's Law in Florida is an amendment to the state constitution that preserves a specific set of clear, enforceable rights and protection for crime victims. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we could be on here we could be in here all day answering questions and going through these things. And I appreciate you for being here with me. Hey, Mom. My mom, Pearl Lopez, says parents are guilty of ignoring what their sick son was doing. You're right, Mom. I love you. I hope you're having a good afternoon. All right, let's keep going through the rest just so I can show you that I have the documents. And I'll reach out to Strategic. Teresa says Strategic did say that. I do not see premeditated right now, but they definitely did that in the beginning. When all is said and done, yes, let Maddie rest in peace. And we try to be as respectful as we can. Absolutely. All right, let me show you the rest of these, and then we'll get on to it. I appreciate you all. If you're leaving, I see people coming in and coming out. We have 612 people in chat. And it will drop down, and then it will drop up. Just don't forget it doesn't cost anything to just hit that like button, folks. And don't forget to subscribe, please. subscribe, and as well, you can share the content if you found it useful. Share it with someone so they know what happened. All right. And that's interesting. Bree, are you around still? Because I don't remember I don't remember that it's premeditated. I know they originally did premeditated, but I'm wondering what strategic is referring to. Not the mama says, I don't think Sterns planned it for months, but something happened that night. Right. They originally said that. Now, Bree, can you tell me if you know? I see you're here. Do you remember? Oh, it is premeditated. Okay, so they originally charged with premeditated. That was the very first charge, but we haven't been going back onto that. Yeah, anything could be premeditated. We haven't gone back and looked at the charges for a while. So, yes, it's the same thing it was. Nothing's changed. It has been stated as premeditated. Thank you. There's a form strategic right. Okay, cool. All right, well, let's finish this up. And I'm glad you guys are showing him love. I'm glad that we were able to get him on before he got too big for us. We appreciate that. Strategic. He reached out to my little channel originally and wanted to rebrand himself. So he came here with a key, and we respect and we love the Strategic Eyes show. So good. Northport Police Department. Let's see if we see anything here. Anything different. Otherwise, we're about halfway through this, and then we can head out. If you guys think you learned everything you need to know, you guys, I love you. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that. We went through the relevant documents, and now I'm making sure that I didn't miss something. Plus, I wanted to show them to you. Let's see. So we've gone through all these. Other people involved. I do like their forms that they filled out with the incident or the collection, what they collected, the report. I'll show it to you in a minute. I'm headed there. All right. So again, this is the information that I read. Look at that. I got skewed. Notice of supplemental discovery. State of Florida versus Stephan Michael Sterns. Case number. And there's a case number there. Not the mama. I know I need to send you the address. We're going to write to Stephan Michael Sterns and see if we can get a response. If anybody can get a response, come back to my show and let me know. We can talk it out, do whatever. We'll support for whatever reason that we want to, for learning purposes. I still have to talk to Jess. All right. So affidavit. They got this just. All right. Search warrant. Wow. Look at this. We didn't even look at this, but there's so many of them. Look at the search warrants that they did. Supplemental report. They checked the Fitbit account. And it's not that I didn't know this. It's just that I didn't. I'm looking at it again. I'm like, wow, they got everything in here. Signature affidavit for Pinnell. I'm not sure what Pinnell is, but when I see if they got a search warrant for his Fitbit account, receipts and items seized, all the digital content, Apple account, and those take time. Look at that search warrant, Apple account associated with Jennifer Soto and Madeline Soto. So as you know, folks, hold on real quick. Let me see. Pull this back up. They're looking into Jennifer Soto still, everybody. And Flyer B, thank you. I will see you on another one. Have to go. Everything. Great evening or whatever. It doesn't cost anything. You're absolutely right. It doesn't. All right. So Pinellas County. Thank you. Well, there's a lot in there. And guess what? They're looking at it all. Melly, I couldn't have said it better. And that's why it's taking time. That's why it's taking time to arrest Jen Soto, because we see so many things that they could arrest her for. And there's so many more that, yeah, I wish they would too, but we want them to get it right. They're looking at her. Did you see the paper right there? It's associated with Madeline and Jen Soto. So all they have to do is find a couple pieces of solid evidence. And MB, why they're redacted. They're still looking into her. Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Oblivious Benson would know all about those. Right. Pray for our angel. 555. Thank you. His parents were repeating the story Stephan Sterns told them about the SA hint. Right. Right, Marianne. Right. But it was before, and I bet you that Stephan Sterns had been telling them, in my opinion, my theory, Stephan Sterns had been telling them for years that him and Jen were together, but that poor kid is traumatized and he doesn't want to leave her because, Jen has all these partners in and out and she's being essayed and she can't sleep alone. So he's the guy that goes and sleeps with her and helps her sleep better and gets her ready for school. And I bet you anything that's the narrative he was giving them. And Krista, bye-bye, Jen Soto. LMAO, you going down to giggle. All right. Adam says strategic mentioned either today or yesterday. He thinks if Jen Soto was charged, they would have done it already. I hope this one isn't one time he's, yeah. Well, yeah, we're going to say that I'm sure that there's more than one time he's been wrong. And I don't think that's true. I don't think that they would have, that if they were going to charge her, that it would, they would have done it already. But we appreciate his opinion. And Maddie, you're right. What is done in the dark will come to the light. I really believe this. Guilty of crime. I also believe that they are strategically, no pun intended, releasing the documents in the way that they are for a reason, as not to give out too much information because they can't and they haven't done that arrest yet. So let's keep looking through this. We'll get through the end of it. When I talk to strategic, he's been on my show and he says be patient. They are taking their time. So it's interesting, but hey, different channels. That's why we have different channels and different content for different things. Jay, she was calling him her boyfriend and partner to the police, but her girlfriend was there with the body cam. Right. There's so many things about this, Brianna. So many things. All right, let's keep going. I'm opening that she redacted. Right. Yeah, it's interesting the narratives that we see on the different channels, but we're going to humbly agree to disagree, and we'll humbly not say, oh, I told you so. We want Jen Soto to be arrested because she didn't take care of her daughter and she threw her away like trash. She handed Madeline Soto over to Stephan Sterns on a silver platter. That is the biggest crime that she committed, was neglecting her daughter in all ways and letting her be abused. So right there is a crime in itself. Melly is like a virtual JLR jumping out of bushes. She is everywhere. Melly, you're everywhere. Thank you, Maggie Duke. All right, make sure I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Gothic Bree, or Bree, as I like to call it, for the $5 super sticker. I appreciate you for everything you do. You shouldn't have. All right, let's keep going. I want to see if I missed anything, but I am not a police officer, and obviously. So I want to see they're looking into her. That's all I got to say. They have not counted her out, and we have faith, we have hope, and we have lots of evidence to say that she will be arrested at some point. Just because she's not arrested yet, let's call up our friend Duty Ron and ask his opinion. I bet you he'd say something way different. Oh wait, he has. Okay, Apple account. So Jen Soto, Madeline Soto, inventory receipt. I'm just looking if anything sticks out. So they did an emergency warrant, folks. Obviously, DNA search warrant. So they did all their things that they're supposed to do. The life storage. I don't see. These are all the officers. Property list. CAD. Crime scene personnel log. Okay, so they got the Venetian Bay visitor log. So who comes in and out? I'm telling you, they know who was driving that second car by now. Why aren't they telling us, people? Why aren't they selling us? All right. Chris Stern's timeline notes, Madeline Soto's school profile and message history, their Amazon orders, even. Man, they're into everything. All right. Again, you guys could kind of see this. So if you see anything that sticks out, you guys could talk in chat. We know that they had 4 phones. They're talking here about mobile tracking device authorization and then getting the installation of the mobile tracking devices. They got the affidavit here with the search warrant for the black iPhone. Just search warrant after they did their job. Discord, they got Discord affidavit for search warrant. Wow, they're looking into it. Subpoenas. Central Florida Expressway transaction. So they're looking at the transactions, like the toll booths or whatever. I'm assuming. Blah, 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 blah. That's a lot. Venetian Bay Villages, 7-Eleven surveillance, Holiday Inn vacation surveillance. Of course, that's where we know he stopped. The public school surveillance. This is all surveillance right here. Venetian Bay Community Online. Okay, so they've got the Venetian Bay Community Outline. They've got they have a statement from Jennifer. They didn't put a name. They put Jennifer, Stephan, and Carlos. And I think we all ask who the heck Carlos is. The roommate, the ex-roommate, always asks who the hell Carlos is. I think it's one of the new roommates. Anyway, all right. Electronic packing slip, email, supplemental, supplement, copy of item listed. Okay. All right. So we got to see some of the things. Now, this was the paperwork that they had listed out and that they had in that nice little pretty list at the beginning. And I'll see how many folks I still have. There's still 600 people in here. So wow, you guys are still you're still in it. Jen's time is coming. Cops don't want to get it wrong. How'd they have 4? Yeah, they had 4 phones. Their dad bought one, and they all afforded enough of everything, folks. He will do a great job. Hit the like. Thank you. I'll leave it at that while I finish going through the paperwork. Oh wow, I missed something big. Jennifer Bizarro says, I enjoy your coverage on this case. Thank you. Thank you so much. I enjoy being appreciated. Thank you. Every dollar, every penny, every cent counts, and it goes towards funding of the channel. So thank you so very much. Being appreciated is the best thing that you can get. Thank you, I Am Too Bear, for being in it for the long haul. All right, let me keep showing you 4 phones. Thank you, Gothic Bree. I'll leave it there. I'll Bree. I always read it, but Bree to me. Jen, 4 phones. Jen's, Madeline, Stephan's first phone, and then the second one his dad bought him. Right. I'll leave it right there while I scroll down. Yeah. Yeah, we all respect each other. Millie says, I respect strategic eyes, but law is different in all states. They need to have enough evidence, because if they charge you with 10 things out of that, only 2 will stick. I pray she gets arrested. So do I. And Millie, we know what we know. We know what we know. And that's all I have to say is we know what we know. So let's just keep those prayers coming that we get complete and utter justice for Maddie. We value all channels' opinions, and I welcome all channels to collaborate with. I welcome all channels, period. So yeah, it's all good. Everybody has their thing. I'm okay with it. I don't know if Strategic was presenting and doing a live and you guys start talking about guilty of crime says this. I don't know if he would like that, but hey, I think we're all friendly enough. Most channels don't like mentioning other channels, which is interesting. I welcome it. I say justice for Maddie, and all sides matter. Oh no, let us know what happens. All right, I'm going to keep going because it's almost 5:30 over here, folks, and I still have things to do. And I have Christopher Greger's sentencing coming up, and Lauren's case tomorrow. You're not going to want to miss the Christopher Greger sentencing, folks. All right, so all these were filled out by different people. That's why there were, I think, 4 different ones. So that's that freaking power cord and the tower. They typed out the officer. So a different officer with the ID number. And then they got another one. So they just took a copy of a copy here, essentially. And these are the things I got cut out. Nothing that you missed. The bracelet, the keychain, same thing. I just want to make sure I get this all out of the way so there's no part 2 of this. All right. We are at all this, and we're almost, this is for 67 pages. 67 pages. So evidentiary items, swab of lock storage unit, swab of rope cord, swab of metal push handle. We talked about that. The search warrant was concluded on February 29th at approximately 5:36. They took their time. Search warrant, they left a copy of it there, as we talked about. Items were packaged and submitted into evidence. 69 digital photos, folks. Yeah, Stephan Sterns is done. We just need to get Jennifer Soto arrested. She needs to be held accountable, folks. That is my opinion, that she needs to be held accountable. All right, so the overall photographs taken by crime scene technician Howe, and they talk about a visual examination, how they swabbed the exterior, utilizing sterile laden fingerprint brushes and black fingerprint powder. Assistant crime scene technician with processing the exterior overhead door for latent fingerprint. So they wanted to make sure who was in there, who was in and who was out. Removing lock from unit, opening the storage with multiple boxes and storage containers. Nothing of evidentiary value. Yeah, we already read all this. So we're 51 of 67. Later divulged Debra was awoken. Yeah, this was the 319. She thinks he came in, Stephan Sterns, which it wasn't that time because we saw the hotel and when he went in and went out. Stephan and that Christopher is being interviewed by the agency. I'm glad that Debra at least expressed her disgust of the crimes. However, she needs to express it even more by not getting that monster his origami and all that stuff, getting him anything, his coffee and his candy. Oh, so disgusting. All right. So there's nothing. Same stuff over and over, but they have to do that. All right. So they send everything to property room. Here's what I'm going to do. We are going to show that clip at full speed. We're going to remember Maddie and look at all the beautiful photos of her one more time. I'm going to run through that. So many monsters while I listen to your comments and, or read your comments. I'm going to pull this down. And I appreciate every single one of you for being here, supporting us. Being kind is the best thing you could do, is being kind. It's so very unkind to say just mean shit for no reason, folks, when I'm presenting, or even in like some of my comments was absolutely my comments of when I was doing the 19-year anniversary, sharing that with you all. I had some people saying things that were just rude for no reason. All right, I'm going to share this with you. There's just no reason for that. We're in 2024, folks. Avis, nobody's trolling, but I shouted out this weekend. It was my 19-year anniversary with my wife, and people just sometimes are rude, but none of the comments that you guys made, all my people, my the people that respect me were rude. 19-year anniversary, and so a couple people, suck. They're like, not in God's eyes, you're not married or something. We're in 2024, folks. God supports, God loves us all. All right, let's remember Maddie together. I'm going to play this at regular speed just so we can have something to smile about and try not to be sad the rest of the night. I love you all. Thank you, Christine. I'm glad you saw that. Look at how beautiful she was. Maddie is our angel. Such a beautiful, that was her birthday party. That runs deep. I think we got all bad for you. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Thank you. Look at how pretty she is. What a shame. But we got to smile. Thank you. Look at that. She's our angel, folks. She is absolutely our angel. I wonder how Tyler Wallace is doing. And thank you, Allie. God does love all. We're all of his children, however you want to put it, the higher being. Breathe out, everyone. Right? Is the bottom line. Yeah, I believe so. But we're remembering Maddie as we say goodbye. Look at how so cute. My daughter's starting 4th grade on August 8th, folks. And I just I can't relate any more than I can to this little girl and this story. It's just heartbreaking. Undead Ramen, you're absolutely right. Once her testimony is done, everyone realizes she's no longer needed in the extent of her crime. She'll be toast. And we're praying for that because this little angel is just that, a little angel. Remembering Maddie. Thank you all. Same DNA, but born this way. Right. Thank you. And don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like the way I presented, please share it. We will timestamp it so you can go right to the paperwork if you don't want to listen to the overview. But the overview is what we've been talking about in this whole case. So the overview gives you a good idea rather than me just reading of what's happening and where we are. Look at her, so pretty. Exactly. Wow, really? Interesting. Probably. Oh, so cute. Remembering Maddie as we leave. Yes, rest in peace, Madeline. Rest in peace, for sure. And you're right. We need to make it okay for kids to tell. We need to make it okay, and we need to listen to them, and we need to pay attention to them. Look at how sweet she was. That was her last day. And they say that night was the night. And still on the 25th, they documented that she was no longer with us. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I have more work to do. I have to get everything ready for the next days coming. I appreciate all of you. And you're right. This case deserves in-depth coverage and time spent. And we want to see justice. That's why we're here. She was such a cute opportunity. Yeah, I agree. Thank you all again. And make sure I didn't miss anything. And yeah, how dare me. Thank you all. Thank you, Kathy. Savage Barbie, always a pleasure. Cynthia Vegas, Jen needs to pay the piper. Olga, good night, everybody. Yeah, right. Not the mom we need to ask open-ended questions. Beautiful angel now. MM Clar, always a pleasure. Judy Dahl, justice for Maddie. Nora Rosario, Texas girl says, leaving. Okay, bye, Texas girl. She was one of the cutest babies. Cleveland and Zurich. No one saw anything on anyone's phone. Right. Amber Day. All right, everybody. I love each and every single one of you. Again, thank you for being here. And I don't tie you to the your chair and keyboard and make you stay here. And I don't make you come here. So only come if you like the content that I present and how I present it. Sweetie, another good show. Thank you. I love you. Good night, Adam. I see you. Thank you again for the hat. Didn't like my comment. Texas girl didn't like your comment. What'd you say, May? Good night, everybody. On that note, I'm out of here. Go do something else. Love you all. And I'll see you tomorrow.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?